Hello everybody, welcome to Pralines, Deliciousness from the World of Art. The protagonist of this episode is Tetsuro Shimizu, born in Tokyo in 1958. Due to his shy nature, Tetsuro has difficulty forming interpersonal relationships. Since his elementary school days, he has nurtured a passion for drawing, an expressive medium that suits his personality. Moreover, he is impacted by the social instability in post-war Japan. Tokyo was reduced to rubble and the reconstruction began, bringing great changes to the social fabric, including the education system. In fact, it's the cultural identity of Japan that undergoes traumatic transformation. The secular society, based on the divine authority of the emperor, is dissolved and is superseded by the one that embraces the Anglo-Saxon model, considered improper by the majority. Searching for his identity, the young Tetsuro dedicates himself to painting. He browses through the illustrated books featuring the masterpieces of the past, most of which have been destroyed. At 15 years old, he decides to hitchhike across the island of Hokkaido to portray the landscapes. Paradoxically, the long-awaited answer arrives through the discovery of Western art. It's an exhibition on Cézanne's works, among which stands out the portrait of Victor Schocke that suggests him a possible solution. He is primarily fascinated by Cézanne's application of paint in thick pages that create colors, which he conceives as the synthesis of reality and spirit. He later discovers Titian's oeuvre. He perceives in these two great masters an aesthetic sensitivity similar to that of Shinto, the grounding of all ethical behaviors embedded in the Japanese art. If God is present everywhere, the artist, in order to depict nature, is expected to become nature himself, thus can ultimately erase the distance between man and the world. Notably, he reads Il Libro dell'Arte by Giannino Giannini, which provides him with old master's painting methods and confirms his belief that to make art, one should be equipped with an appropriate spiritual conscience. After completing his studies at the Soke Academy of Fine Art, where, among other things, he gets to know Ayako, who will later become his wife, he begins to express his creative identity. He concentrates his interest on representing all that is invisible, but can be brought to light through the contemplation of nature. It's not the immobility of the reality that attracts him, but its mutability. Or rather, the Japanese term is mujo, is impermanence, referring to something that once existed but no longer does, and in some ways has left a trace. To dig deep into this concept, Tetsuro Shimizu has been examining the growth of the houseplant pothos. Every day, he documents its evolution, underscoring how it develops into a spiral form over time. Essentially, Cézanne's technique has inspired him to use thick, vigorous brush strokes to generate a sense of volume. Afterwards, he decides to look to Europe to confront himself. He reaches his final destination, Milan, at the Praline Academy of Fine Arts. Even though his initial premises are completely different, he feels an unusual affinity to some canons of futurism, updated by those of the artistic movements of the 80s, which intend to re-elaborate the languages of the historical avant-garde. Together with Gottardo Ortelli, Tetsuro Shimizu explores the dynamics of pittura analitica and the relationship between the canvas, which to him represents our world, and painting is spirit. As the physical features of things change with time, so does the canvas, which at a specific moment begins to undertake a transformation. Importantly, Tetsuro Shimizu himself prepares the canvas frames modeled according to the emotional states he wants to highlight. The painting is an autonomous organism, thus leaves the emotions of the artist in his endeavor to attain a superior harmony. Therefore, high tones are fundamental to him. The canvas divides itself to create scans and void the inside, evoking the indispensable pauses of silence during the recital of a poem, while the pictorial composition continues to evolve. At a certain point, the illness from which he is suffering seems to take possession of his artwork under the form of splitting to create a disturbing wedge directed to the surrounding sphere. Colors leave space to the raw canvas which, in turn, is occupied by one color that can harmonize with all others. It's a space of nude existence where diverse emotions can be manifested. The work of Tetsuro Shimizu apparently bears resemblance to that of the exponents of art informel, but in reality, it requires an accurate planing process executed first on craft paper, then with preparatory drawings. Tetsuro Shimizu's art has testified that human beings share the common desire to express their innermost feelings. Therefore, in the end, the pictorial languages, born either in the East or the West, have always strived to give voice to that profound and irrevocable need that we call art. I stop here. Thank you for listening. Don't miss the next episode of Pralines, Deliciousness from the World of Art.